Welcome to a very special predictions episode, Anthony. Super Strong Style 16 is here.
Okay.
Bank holiday weekend. So we thought we'd do a bit of a bracketology.
And the thing is, Carl, you love a good bracket. We know. Anyone who follows us generally knows that you love a good bracket. You love a good tournament.
IKEA, get them, stick them on the wall.
100%.
Love it.
100%. Can't beat it.
Yeah. But Super Strong Style 16 is around the corner, Anthony,
Indeed.
and the bracket has been revealed. So we figured, you know what? Just have a guess.
Now, the bracket's been revealed very recently, hasn't it?
Like literally.
We're
Yeah, well, I don't know when this is going to be on the Man Progress Plus.
on this.
But yeah, like literally.
We've only just found out.
Exactly. So we're flying by the seat of our pants, which we do anyway every week. But let's dive into, shall we? Dive into the first match of the opening round. We've got man like DeReiss and Ethan Allen, Anthony. Now, this is an interesting one because at Chapter 173, we did have a bit of a tag team thing going on. We had Boisterous Behaviour, we had the Young Guns, and interestingly enough, Boisterous Behaviour to get the win. But it wasn't actually DeReiss that picked up the win, so Leon Slater ended up pinning Luke Jacobs. So neither of these guys got a pin on each other. So that doesn't help us.
It doesn't.
Then, the following chapter, 174, we had these two one-on-one. And do you know what happened? It was a double count out, and they beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, nice. It's been building.
It has been building. So there's the history there, which makes a fantastic kind of opening round bracket. But where'd you go? Where'd you go from here?
I mean, I don't want to have an obvious bias here, but man like DeReiss is probably going to win.
Fair.
No obvious bias.
No.
I mean, obviously, over as fuck, right? I mean, that's no disservice, but man like DeReiss, over as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the reaction at Vegas.
Oh, yeah. See the reaction everywhere. TNA.
100%.
It goes everywhere. Gets the reaction. Massive star.
And, I'm all about the product, so I'm just like, you know what? What is it? When you do exactly what they predict you're going to do.
I don't know.
We're going to make this guy popular, and I'm like, yay.
Yeah, push him to the moon. Yeah.
So I'm on board. I'm on the train.
Okay, you're on the DeReiss train. Well, do you know what? Choo-choo, baby. Because I'm there with you. I'm going man like DeReiss as well. I think it's going to be a fantastic match. And obviously Ethan Allen has proved himself, non-stop. But I just think DeReiss got too much of the tank for him. I think he's going to go a long way in this whole competition.
But I think you're totally right there. Banger of a match. But I think DeReiss is going to just edge it, let's say.
Okay. The next one we have announced, we have Tate Mayfairs and Masa Kitamiya.
Okay.
So I'll be honest, don't know that much about Kitamiya. He's a Pro Wrestling Noah star coming over here for this tournament. I do know he's a 7-time tag team champion over in Noah, so he's got the credentials. But Mayfairs is the current TNT champion. He has just had recently a match with Luke Jacobs, the world champion, push him to the limit for the Progress title as well. So, good resumes for both of them. I think based on the fact that Mayfairs has just been in and around that picture, we'll probably give him a bit of an advantage here. But what do you think? Do you think, Pro Wrestling Noah stardom?
Am I allowed to think tactically here?
You can think tactically.
Like, the deck seems stacked to that point that you go, are we meant to consider Kitamiya the underdog here and go, you know what, I wouldn't vote that way. And because of that, I'm like, do I vote that way? Because
I like it.
Like you say,
playing the long game here, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're thinking of,
because it can't be all Progress guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's true.
So
that's true.
I'm like, do I vote tactically? Am I voting? Is that how it works? Do I vote?
Well, I mean, I've already predicted this.
Well, fuck it.
But I want to hear your thoughts, just so I can dismiss them, of course.
Okay, well, dismiss this. No,
that's a segment.
I'm gonna like, for me, I would go tactically and go, you know what, I'm gonna give it to Kitamiya, and sort of, I think we're playing that game where we think, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree.
Well,
I'm going to go for Mayfairs, just simply for the fact that I think he's had that experience of being in the title match, and that'll give him a bit of an edge here. I think, I'm going to say this for every match. It's going to be a banger, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think,
should we get that out the way like straight away in future?
We're going to say this a lot. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Mayfairs, I think, for this one.
Okay.
But again, it's going to be a great match. Also, WWE ID prospect Anthony Marcus Mathers is set to take on Will Cruz in the opening round. Now, obviously Mathers, as I say, WWE ID prospect, think this is just his second match in progress as well, so he's not had a whole lot of experience. He was competing for the WXW title against one called Manders.
This is where Cruz will have the edge on him, though, won't he?
Well, that's it.
He's down to the experience.
Home court advantage, if you will. Yeah. And also a bit of an experience advantage. Now, I know obviously Will Cruz has just kind of come in and has been like the nephew and all that, but, you know, Mathers 22 years old, Cruz 28, so there's a little bit more experience on his side. And we've also just seen him obviously get out of the whole Moth Dog situation. So I think Cruz is going to want to have something to prove that it on his own.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Make it on his own way. But
yeah, so again, you can't count him out. A man who's got something to prove.
Well, exactly. But this is where I can see his history catching up with him here. Like, I'm not going to rule out Moth Dog getting involved in this.
Okay.
And costing Cruz. I think you know, Cruz is a monster of a man. You know, he's going to have a lot of power there for Mathers to try and deal with.
Yeah,
but. I think G Money
could go to
Session Moth are rocking up, and I think
you think go to Mathers, but with some help.
I think there'll be shenanigans.
Good
I'm calling shenanigans, and I think you know they've got to do the ID prospecting here as well.
It'd be a hell of a show for an ID prospect, wouldn't it?
Well, that's it, and you know I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to get him far, but I think he's going to want to prove why he deserves to be an ID prospect. So,
but I think in a way having that label is kind of like, because I know a lot of people are like what is WWE ID, and it's like you're not signed, but they keep an eye on you. But doesn't that light a fire under you to go, well, you've got that label, they keep an eye on you. You want to prove why you've got that label.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's like it's known that they're interested in you. You don't want to be that guy who was let it slip.
Yeah. So again, a point to prove.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be very closely contested. I think Cruz will be a lot to deal with, but I can definitely see some kind of interference here. So for that reason, Anthony, I'm going to go with Marcus Mathers on this one.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. I tend to agree.
Okay. Now,
sorry, I forgot I had to have an opinion. Given how you told me to fuck off with my last opinion.
Well, I mean, it's good to have one. They're not going to matter.
We'll have to swear on demand. I don't even know.
I don't know. Sorry. But we are anyway. Next one, Simon Miller, friend of the show. So a little bit of bias here. Obviously, we have had Charlie Sterling's former tag partner, Nick Riley, on Stories of Progress as well. But this would be interesting for that reason, because obviously Sterling's going alone now that Smoking Aces are kind of done with.
Yeah.
You've then got Simon Miller, just lost the Proteus title.
Just coming off a big loss there.
And, you know, it's a lot of exposure that as well, because obviously Paul Walter Hauser gets the win, takes the title off him. A lot of people seeing that, and it's like, that's a big loss to take. A lot of eyeballs on that loss. So I think the pair of them have got something to prove here.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder, are we going to see a different side of Miller?
Well, maybe.
Because typically he's quite a happy-go-lucky guy, isn't he? But you've got to imagine he's going to be pissed off against that loss. So
yeah, I mean, maybe he needs to shift that gear. You know, like he's the lovable
shifting gear. We can't say that
he's the lovable oaf, isn't he? Let's be fair. I don't think he would have a problem with me saying that. I think he knows that, and I think sometimes he can maybe wear his heart on his sleeve too much. Maybe he needs to have a bit more.
Well, like when we spoke to him, he's been honest about he's had to shed the social media guy or the host guy to be taken seriously, and I think I don't know, I could just maybe see a bit of an edge to him in this match. Yeah, good.
It's a fascinating one as well, because I think so far I think a lot in the opening round as well. There's not many like people that we've seen face each other before in this. This is a lot of first time matches. I think here, like, we've had obviously these guys face each other in a tag team match before when Simon was teaming with Bakewell. But we haven't had these one-on-one.
Yeah, it's so
it's a lot of unknown.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it difficult. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're saying,
and you know what if you think you can do better, why don't you fucking comment and tell us?
Do it, exactly,
because you can do that on demand as well.
You can do that on demand,
yeah.
And we will have this out on YouTube at some point. It's kind of a weird one because we like to give exclusivity to demand, but
of course,
at the same time, it's this weekend, so it's like,
of course,
you might have it for a day or two.
Let's not do that bullshit. Don't like predict it after you've watched it. That's
exactly.
That's cheating.
That is cheating. So don't do that. But yeah, I'm going Simon Miller. I'm gonna let me heart outrule. No, I don't even know if it is heart outrule my head for this one. I'm just gonna give it to Simon.
Just to be contrarian, I'm gonna go Charlie.
Damn. See what he did to you, Simon. Look what he did.
Well, I could go for a bit of loyalty, or I could just play the odds.
Well, Simon's going to win. Why?
Yeah, nice.
Here's why. Okay, another Pro Wrestling Noah entrant here. We've got the incredible Jack Morris. against the incredible Leon Slater. This is going to slap. This could potentially be the opening match, the match of the opening round, if you will. I'm very much looking forward to this one. And again, we talked about experience factor. Like, Leon Slater's been in and around the world title picture before. Obviously, he's been teamed with Reese as well, so it's like he's got that experience. He's got a lot of time in progress. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Is it progress?
Just
is it progress?
Keep flip-flopping between both.
Yeah. Then I can never be wrong, in a way. Jack Morris.
A whole new way, isn't
it? Jack Morris, coming over from Pro Wrestling Noah, and I believe making his Progress debut.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I'm the least confident about this one because I think my prediction's a wild one. I'm going with Morris.
What makes you think your prediction's a wild one?
I honestly Leon Slater is one of the favourites to win this.
Okay, so you feel like it's a wild choice because the fan base is telling you.
Yeah, well, like
them.
Well, he's been killing it. He's gone over to TNA, done amazing stuff there in the X division. He's been doing incredible stuff in Progress, team with Reese. He's just, I don't know. He's just got it.
Yeah,
but maybe it's my bias towards Drew McIntyre. But I see Morris. He reminds me of Drew, not just because he's Scottish.
But the thing is, this is where this is what I like about it, because the whole tournament's unpredictable, isn't it? So you can't, you can have your favourites, your odds on favourites and stuff like that, but you can't, it's not going to be a walk in the park with Slater.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, it's a lock or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't think your choice is that wild.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tough match.
Okay.
Because as you said, debut in a Progress could have a point to prove here.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of said that about others, but it's one of them.
It's true.
You want to.
These are all facets that add up, don't they? So
well, you know what? It's interesting because everyone we've interviewed so far. Well, I say everyone. Most who we've interviewed so far, because I don't know if it always came up, but there's a lot of respect for Super Strong Style.
Oh yeah.
And everyone always talks about it in that sense of it's an experience. You know what I mean? And it's not an experience everyone's had. So
no.
It could go either way, but I don't think I like the fact that you're being daring with your choice, mate.
I like it.
I disagree though.
Okay. Brilliant. I'm gonna go Morris. Are you gonna go Slater?
I'm going Slater.
Okay. He's proper just let me down.
I know, it was fun, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, for you. Next we have Kid Lycos 2 against Zozea. Now, Zozea has been, making headlines everywhere at the minute. He's a massively hot prospect out of Spain. I didn't say he's massively hot. I know, I can see the look on your face. He's a massively hot prospect, okay?
Yeah.
And I think he was also in the recent WWE tryouts. There's a lot of eyeballs on him. But that's not counting out Lycos 2. Obviously, he's former two-time... Is he two-time champ? He's definitely been the tag champ anyway with Kid Lycos. So, yeah. So he's obviously got experience. We talk about that impact of having experience, whereas Jose has only had a handful of matches in Progress.
The gravitas you put on Impact there.
But I'm going to go Jose for this one. I just think he's just got so much talent, and I think people are going to be shocked if they haven't seen him before, especially again to do it on this stage. I'm going Jose. I'm all in.
Okay. I know it's a cop-out, but I think it's a really tough one to call, so I'm going to go for the contrarian thing again. And
I'm going
to go like us too, just to fucking be different here.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to do that the whole fucking time.
Okay. Well, we've had a like us too. Let's have a like us, shall we? because we've also
on this one.
We've got Michael Oku and we've got Kid Lycos, right? I've said this before, probably say it again. Maybe this is the match of the opening round. They're all very good. What can I say? Obviously, Lycos, a former Progress World Champion. He's been a 4-time tag team champ. He won Super Strong Style 16 already in 2023. So is he going to be the first person to win it twice? It's a tall order, I think, if you ask me. On the other side of things, you've got Michael Oku. He's probably one of the hottest talents in the UK right now. He's just recently fought for the Progress World title and was unsuccessful. Very close, but didn't get it done. Yeah. Got a point to prove, I think.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think on my predictions I think I had him backed to win. No.
Yeah.
Bit gutted that, really.
Yeah.
He's probably more gutted than I am in all fairness.
No, I think it's pretty close. You've been crying for days. So I don't know, I think Oku really wants to earn himself that rematch. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Like the amount of experience Lycos has got in this, it's hard to bet against him. But I'm gonna. Okay.
I think this is one where we might agree.
Yeah.
Because I kind of love the story around it as well. You know, really, like earning his way back to the title shot.
Yeah.
Like I've got to give it to Oku. I think he deserved the win anyway. So I like the storybook ending there of going, you know what, get through the tournament, earn that respect back, get that title shot.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Oku as well.
Nice. Which takes us to the final match of the opening round. We have Trent Seven against Charles Crowley, the magnificent twat that he is. And I talked before when we were talking about Simon Miller about head over heart. I think it probably applies more to this one because I love Crowley.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a ledge.
Yeah.
I've got all the time in the world for that guy. Bit weird, but a ledge.
Yeah.
Don't miss me.
Eccentric, I think, is the word.
That's the one. But yeah, I mean, Trent Seven's resume. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus Crowley. Yeah. I mean, I'll look at my note here. So he's a former Atlas champion in Progress. He's a former 3-time Progress Tag Team Champion, NXT Tag Team Champion, NXT.
I was just going to say NXT.
Nothing else. NXT Tag Champ, NXT UK Tag Champ. Like the dude's done like a lot.
He has a resume.
Yeah. And Crowley's got the mist. So it's whether that mist could be.
I
mean, I kid. Like it sounds really bad. He's a former Tag Champ as well, isn't he? But I don't know. I just think I would love it to be Crowley. But I'll have to let my head rule.
You joked about the mist though, but that's the epitome of why you can't count Crowley out, isn't it? Because he has that unpredictable factor.
Well, I mean, inadvertently ended up costing Simon Miller, even though he didn't win it himself. You know, that's the mist in the face helped Paul Walter Hauser, didn't it? So
missed opportunity, if you will.
Love it.
I wanted to get that joke in when we were interviewing. I wanted to get that joke in, and I'm afraid
he's been stewing on this for weeks, and he's finally done it. But yeah, I'm gonna let me head go over my heart here. I'm gonna say Trent Seven.
I'm not trying to be deliberately contrarian, but I truly believe it is the Twatitude era, and I think we'll go with Crowley. I think perhaps some shenanigans involved because he's a trickster.
He is,
but. Yeah, I don't know. I think Crowley's got it.
Okay, I think he'll certainly serve up something that will cause Seven a few problems. Put it that way. So that's the opening round based on what we've done. So this is just what I've put.
Based on what we've done. So based on all of Carl's.
Based on all mine, the right ones. We move on to the next one. So quarterfinals, man like the Reese, Tate Mayfair's. I don't think we've seen this matchup before. I think we had Simon Miller's Ups and Downs Battle Royal. They were both in there.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen these again.
Yeah, in an actual singles, yeah.
Yeah, so another, first time thing going down here. Okay. I just have to give it to Therese. And it's tough, because obviously, Mayfair's been in and around that title picture as well, but you can't deny Therese. You know what I mean? He's undeniable. And for that reason, I think Therese is going to get the job done here.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, we've been picking the first round. I think, fortunately, otherwise this wouldn't have made no sense for me. Because all the people I picked just wouldn't have been here. There you go. So, yeah, I think it's only fair that I picked Therese again. I think, as you say, he's... this shouldn't be a reason to win, but he's just...
What's the reason? Here all week, folks.
What do you mean, cancelled? Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just got that about him, hasn't he? He's very over at the minute. And I know that shouldn't be the reason to go, oh, you'll get the win just because he's popular. But genuinely, like he's a very strong contender, and I think, I can't see him going out in the first. Can't see him going out in the second.
Can you see him going out at all? Let's find out.
Maybe not.
We've got Therese for 2.
Therese for 2.
Okay, which then takes us to the other one, the other quarterfinal that we predicted. Marcus Mathers, Simon Miller. Yeah, I love Simon Miller, but
I have the memory of a goldfish. Did I pick Simon?
You're being contrarian.
I was being contrarian.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Contrarian. That's what you were being. I don't know.
Hey, do I have a shirt?
Don't know if you can say that.
Can that be a shirt?
Maybe. The twatitude here.
Crowley's got the twat thing. Yeah. So can I? Yeah.
Quite the contrarian.
Yeah.
Available now. The shop, whatever. Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get a shirt on there, but I mean that'd be pretty cool.
Would be.
So I'll have to try and just hammer it home as a captain.
Yeah, you hammer them Confirmed.
But I can't. For me, I couldn't not vote Simon last time. I didn't vote Simon now because he's not even in my bracket. So.
Yeah. Well, this is where I love Simon, but I think it might be a step too far for him. Like Mathers is a ID prospect for a reason, isn't he? So Simon, you're not Simon. You're not in the cool club. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give it to Mathers. I think.
Why?
Here's why. So yeah, that's that one. We then have Jack Morris and Zozea. Again, this could be potential match of the night contender going down here, these two. Zozea is still very young, very talented, still very young. And I think the experience of Morris could be what kind of gives him the edge here a little bit.
Yeah. But aren't you, again, just voting Morris again because you like Drew guy?
Am I biased? Maybe. Have I got a thing for...
Are they Scottish?
For big Scottish men with long hair? Apparently so. But...
Who knew you had a type?
Yeah, I like this. This is the thing I love about Super Strong Style, though, is you get matchups like this, which these two aren't.
You said you get matchups.
You get matchups.
Yeah.
You get matchups like this where these probably aren't, Progress faithful. Like this is Morris's first time in Progress. So Zozea's had a handful of matches, and if these two can meet each other, like, could they, go all the way on and win it? Like, could a non-Progress guy win it?
That's the thing, yeah.
You never know.
I mean, yeah, it could happen, couldn't it?
It could happen.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away for the future. I don't think it will. But in this particular example,
not if Carl predicts it, right?
I am backing Morris.
Okay. I think I'll go with you on that one.
Okay. Look at this. You're coming around to the dark side a bit now, aren't you?
I figured if it don't, it's not going to fucking matter.
No, I don't know if I've said this before. Potential match of the Michael Oku and Trent Seven. Another tough one, this, I think. So Seven obviously competed in the 2017 Super Strong Style, lost to Matt Riddle in the opening round. So I don't know if he's been in it again since. I don't think he has, but he'll have a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But again, I think he's got past the first round. I can't see him getting past the second round. I just think the threat to Michael Oku is too much.
I'm with you on Oku. I assume that's where you're going, so I don't mean to jump the gun.
The threat of Michael Oku is too much, but I'm going for 7. I'm going for Oku on this one. I just, again, will be a banger of a match. We'll say this a lot, but I just think Oku, he's at a different level right now.
Yeah.
And
that's not to say it's not going to be a challenge. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah. But I just think he'll have a little bit too much for 7 in this one. So both going Oku. Oku for 2. Okay, which takes us to the semi-finals. Man like Derice, Marcus Mathers, WWE ID prospect. Have I mentioned that? I mentioned WWE ID
yeah, but is this where the ID prospect's going to break? That's the question.
Yeah, I think this is where...
Tell us about your semi, Carl.
Gets the F out. Well... So these two have crossed paths before in GCW, a couple of times in Battle Royals, but not as singles.
Right, okay.
So again, fresh matchups. It's what Strong Style brings us.
But fresh matchup, but they kind of know each other. They kind of know each other's style. Let's say,
you know what I mean. They've been around each other.
Not enough. Obviously, you can't go. Well, they could have know everything about them, but yeah, exactly. You never know. But not going in blind, are you?
No, and I do think I'm going to have to back Derice again on this one.
Yeah,
I think
Team Derice.
Team, he's a Progress guy. You know what I mean? Soz, he might be an ID guy, but he's a Progress guy, and I just think man like Derice is it right now.
Yeah, and he's just id.
He's just id. Get rid. You know what I'm saying?
That's my shit joke of the night.
Yeah, which was just the one. Just the one. And the other semi-final matchup would end up being...
Let me guess what you're going to vote.
Oku and Morris, and you know me. I'm going to shock you. I got Michael Oku.
What? He's
I
not
got
Scottish.
Michael Oku, right? I know, right? He doesn't even have long hair or a swinging sword. What's going on? But, again, this is another tasty one. This is all about making dream matchups.
Yeah, I think I can see where you're leading this.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if I
can't.
if you can't, you're pretty shit at this.
I think I can see.
Normally old man Carl, and not old man Anthony. But, yeah, I don't know. I think Morris is killing it at the minute, but Oku is just, I don't know. If this can lead to Oku spending more time in Progress, I'm all for it. If it can lead to Morris spending more time in Progress, I'm all for it. I just think this is going to be probably the closest contested match of the whole thing. I'm going to have to just tip it slightly to Oku.
Okay.
That doesn't have to necessarily be clean either. You know what I mean? Could be interference, something going down, but going Oku.
I'm going to agree with you because I've no other choice.
Okay. Which would mean, Anthony, this is how it would all culminate. The final of Super Strong 16 is man like Darius, Michael Oku.
Banger of a match.
Fuck, it would be immense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them team up before in Defy. But like, what a finals this would be.
This would be a hell of a final.
There's history there, obviously having teamed in the past. I think, I mean, it shouldn't be about this in any way, shape or form, but it's like, I think to have two people of colour in the final and present an opportunity for the first black winner of Super Strong Style is immense as well. And these two, it's not about that, but at the same time, for these two to make it to the final as the best of British, what Britain's got to offer right now, I think just fucking slaps. So
indeed, tough choice though is Carl. You have to pick a winner out of these two.
Well, that's where it gets difficult, isn't it? I'm struggling. I'm struggling with this one. And as I said before, I'd like to hope this is the start of Michael Oku doing more with Progress, but I don't think he's winning it. I've got to back my man, like Darius, all the way to the end. I just think he's been on an absolute tear. He went over to TNA. People were like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's great.
And he found out who he was.
Yeah, you fucking found out. And I think they're going to find out in Super Strong Style 16 as well. I think this is Darius' time. He's going to earn that title shot, and I think he's going to be a very big challenge for Luke Jacobs if he ends up holding on to the title, that is.
I'll go for the storybook of going, I'd like Oku to get another shot.
Okay.
And I know.
Yeah, to be fair,
sometimes it's not always about running it back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily have to just get a rematch, but he's had to fucking earn that rematch in this process, hasn't he? So,
absolutely.
I think that storybook, like for me, if he can get that title shot and get that win, just fucking. That's
love it. You're a fan of a story, like
exactly
layers.
Yeah.
Like
an onion. That's right.
Okay.
It's a throwback.
So we are undecided in terms of the winner, but I think, you said from the start you could see Oku getting to the end and ultimately winning it. Yep. He's there. I'm going to back man like
for all our disagreements. There may have been a couple.
We ended up there or thereabouts.
We ended up with Oku being an option for me, so that works because that's who I wanted to win it.
Indeed. Well, who do you think's going to win? Let us know. Whether you watch on Demand Progress Plus, let us know there. Watch on YouTube, let us know there.
Well, actually, if you're watching on YouTube, you already fucking know. We already fucking know.
Yeah. So. Don't be like, we knew that because this came out. You could have already seen this. We're on to you, right? But that's the bracketology side of things. There's two other matches that have been announced so far. Let's talk about them, shall we? Because stakes have never been higher, Anthony.
I know you were going on isn't the right word, but you were talking about this before.
Going on again.
You're talking about this before we went on air.
Sorry for what we do.
You're excited for this.
I'm excited for this, right? So we saw what went down in Vegas. We had Nina Samuels defending against Rhio and Vert Vixen. We know that Rhio and Vert Vixen potentially overlooked Nina. Ended up getting, and Nina capitalised basically. But I say the stakes have been higher because Rio's challenged Nina for this match. If Rhio loses, she's got to leave. She's got to be. She's done with
that is pretty high stakes right there.
Massively high stakes, and then on top of that, you add in an unknown special guest referee, and I don't want to do Steiner match because I know where you're going, right? But the chances drastic go down, right? So that, and it's like, me, I just love being like, oh, there's steaks everywhere. I fucking love steak. Yeah. Buy me a steak, buy me some steak.
They call him the butcher.
Because I butcher podcasts. But yeah, this is pretty sick. I'm very much looking forward to this. I don't know what's going to happen, right? Let's talk about the special guest referee first.
Go on. Who do you think it is going to be?
So we've got to throw Vert Vixen's name into the mix.
Yeah.
She was also in the match down in Vegas. That's an option. My wild card.
Okay, go on.
Right, hear me out here. Former guest of the show, Lizzie Evo.
Interesting.
The reason why is, well, Lizzie and Rhio are really close.
Yeah.
Right? But Lizzie and Nina are in the Cutthroat Collective.
Ah, so what way would she go?
Exactly.
Or would she just call it fair?
Would she? You know what I mean? Do we get a 10?
Would she? It's Lizzie. No.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't because she's a copite. Come on,
Mate, they had a fucking good weekend.
Oh, shut up.
I think
Who cares?
you can't.
Who cares?
Put the business away.
Did you see what happened though?
I did.
Did you see the guy with the players?
Not bad.
Did you see the guy who replaced all the
I reckon you
ones?
fucking sold them to him.
That's not being proven. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
To be fair, right, I don't often get into the football stuff, right? But as far as fucking funny things to do goes, that was a quality banter.
You can say what you want about the rivalry, but we're all just mates, really.
That was funny. That was quality.
But
anyone who didn't follow it, it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know, yeah. It was like,
sorry,
that's not Arsenal. Fuck off, right? But I think Lizzie Evo could be a wild card there for the referee. I can't think of anyone else come to your mind. Probably, it's tough, innit? Because it could be anyone. But
yeah, not anymore, because I think Lizzie's like a really good shout.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, because if it's not, then they'll be like, well, thanks, Nobbits.
I know, yeah, soz guys.
But
I mean, if you want to hire us for some, some creative, then you give us a shout.
Or some sort of Paul Heyman.
My name! So, yeah, there's that aspect to it, which is mad in itself. But then, nobody knows what happened. There's rumours and video footage, so it's not really much of a rumour, that Rhio was at a recent tryouts over here in the UK.
I've heard that same rumour.
So,
along with a chap from the Gladiators.
Yes, indeed. And some guy from like Love Island or something, because that would make sense. But
don't watch it.
Right?
Just
I worry. I don't watch it. Much.
Sorry, come.
I wonder. It just blows up for me. Is Rhio going to lose because is she going on to pastures new?
I think you're trying to be too clever with it.
Well, what says you? You were looking, doing. I don't know what this is. You were,
milking a tiny cow.
You were all over that shit before, trying to find all these.
Fair.
So I've got to look at it from that angle. But could Rhio win the title back? She's just been saying, like the Nina Samuels show, she'd get it cancelled if she could. This is her chance to cancel it.
I mean, again, voting with the heart a little bit, because we spoke to Rhio, we back Rhio. I would like to see her get the win here.
Yeah.
I do take your point though on, are we seeing, potentially that she is moving? Can we do those sort of things? Like, is that a red herring in a way? Who knows?
Who knows?
It's a very tough to call match, and we know that Nina has got a history of not, winning in the fairest of ways, let's say.
Well,
so
a lot of that will hinge on who the referee is, let's be honest. That's going to be the game changer.
Yeah.
Will he call it down the middle? Will he favour one?
Like, Lizzie could be a boss out, because Nina will expect nothing but loyalty there. You know what I mean?
And what could that mean for the Cutthroat Collective? Who knows? But I'm going to go with heart on this one. Obviously, Rhio, we've had her on the show, absolutely wonderful person. So
fellow Northerner as well, isn't she?
Fellow Northerner, yeah. We have to ask her, how did Vegas compare to Blackpool? These are the hard hitting questions.
I don't think it will have compared.
Yeah, surely not. Happy to a bit of Blackpool rock. But I'm going to go for Rhio.
Couldn't find a stick of rock anywhere in Vegas.
No, yeah, it's fucking shit. Who are you going for, Rhio?
Rhio.
Okay. Which takes us to the world title will be on the line, and this is another tasty one. Luke Jacobs defends against Cara Noir, right? And why this is interesting, Luke Jacobs has never pinned Cara Noir, Anthony. So can he do it? Yeah. Is it even possible?
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
That wraps that up then.
Tune in next week. No, like, it adds a variable, doesn't it? You think?
Well, from a mental standpoint as well, like, the amount of pressure must be on him saying, can I do this? I've never been able to do this before. Cara Noir is just a completely different beast in the ring anyway, and a mime. So
he's stuck in the
No, it's a ring. It's a ring.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's he's a very tricky opponent. So I think it's gonna be a very tough test for Luke Jacobs. That being said, I know you just quipped about it before, but I think he can. I think this is going to be the time he proves it to himself.
So little Jacobs that could, yeah.
Little Jacobs that could.
I think he can. Yeah, I weren't trying to be a dick then. It just made me laugh.
Also, a bit of solidarity with him as well, because he's a Man City fan, and he also didn't want the people who won the league to win the league. So
who won the league, Carl?
Don't know. Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Some shit teammates.
The second club in the city, lads.
This is the second club.
We built this city. You've not seen it. We built Anfield, lads.
Whatever's in there.
We built every yeah. Come on.
Well, I don't know.
We played at Anfield, and then the little cop-outs were like, you know what, we're going to charge you more money for rent. And we were like, no, we'll build our own stadium. The worst thing we ever did. Anyway,
and just there the whole fucking fan base.
Should have just paid it. Yeah. So they are our super strong style 16 predictions
and some football shit.
And because why not?
Did we predict the last one, or did we just go off on a tangent?
I actually don't know.
For the record, Luke Jacobs for me.
Yeah, Luke Jacobs. I just skipped ahead just because you wound me up.
Fine.
Not you, but you know who. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this.
This episode's going to close out with a fucking Everton badge.
I'm just going to play Z cards and just sit here staring at them. No.
And remember, and then you just do the Latin. Yeah. Like whatever the fuck is. What is your thing?
Nil satisfici optimum.
That, yeah.
Which apparently means be shit for several years.
Well,
anyway.
You've done that.
Exactly. So we're living up to it, right?
You can stop now, right?
Anyway, football shit aside, yeah, maybe we won't have as much football talk in the next one. That's it. We're unpredictable. We're unpredictable, just like these predictions. So, yeah, who do you think's going to win? Who do you want to win? Let us know in the comments. And yeah, you want to see us do this again?
And
yeah,
maybe.
So,
but no, back us up here. You know, say how much you love it. Jesus,
please. Yeah, and I'll also try and stop saying so much because I know it's to do that.
No, I think we should just roll into it, lean into it, and just get an counter.
Let's do it. Bring it on. Counter for the next one, guys. If you bring us back, that's what we're going to do. But yeah, we will catch you on the next one.